Researchers put 154 people in a simulated meeting. During that meeting, someone repeated another person's idea and presented it as their own. Right in front of everyone. Only 30% noticed. 70% of the room completely missed it. Not because they weren't paying attention, because their brains were already somewhere else. And here's why that matters to you. That meeting has happened to you. You had the idea. You were building it, getting it ready. And someone else said it first. And the room turned to them, because your idea was still in the oven. And once you understand why your brain keeps doing this, you'll never lose an idea the same way again. Most people think ideas get stolen because someone is dishonest. That the person who spoke first saw an opportunity and grabbed it. And sometimes that's true, but most of the time, the person who spoke genuinely doesn't know they did it. The room isn't paying attention to who said what. The room is paying attention to what was said. And that difference, that small, invisible difference, is costing you the credit every single time. Here's the simplest way to understand what's happening. Your idea is in the oven. You put it in. You set the temperature. You're waiting for it to be exactly right. And while you're waiting, someone else walks into the kitchen, pulls something half-baked out of their bag, puts it on the table, and everyone eats. Your idea is still in the oven, getting more perfect, while the meal is already over. That's literally what your brain is doing to you. And there's a name for it. It's called social inattentional blindness, the brain's failure to notice who contributed what, because its attention is already fully consumed by evaluating ideas. It explains not just why ideas get stolen in meetings, but why you sometimes sit on an idea so long that by the time you say it, it already belongs to someone else. Here's what's actually happening in that room. When people are in a group discussion, their brains are running multiple processes simultaneously. Listening, evaluating, thinking about what to say next, monitoring who's speaking, who has status, who's being heard. Everyone in the room is cognitively full. And when your brain is full, it takes shortcuts. One of those shortcuts is this. Whoever presents the idea most confidently gets credited with it. Not whoever had it first. Whoever put something on the table first. The one still in the oven. It's not being judged on how well it's cooked. It's being judged on whether it made it to the table at all. And while you were waiting for yours to be ready, someone else served a half-baked version. And the room ate it, and moved on. The oven was supposed to make your idea better, but it accidentally made it invisible. That explains what the room sees. But it doesn't explain why you put your idea in the oven in the first place. Your brain has a temperature gauge. Before any idea leaves your mouth, it checks. Is this fully cooked? Is it the right moment? What if someone disagrees? What if it sounds wrong out loud? This gauge exists to protect you from social embarrassment. And here's what it does to your ideas. It holds them, not forever, just long enough for someone else to speak first. Your brain is trying to protect you, but in protecting you, it keeps your idea in the oven just long enough for someone else to serve theirs first. Here's the irony nobody talks about. The more you care about an idea, the longer your brain keeps it in the oven. Because the more it matters, the more your brain wants it perfect before it reaches the table. And the longer it stays in the oven, the more likely someone else reaches the same thought independently. Your best ideas are the ones most likely to be served by someone else. Not because people target your best thinking, because your brain guards it most carefully. But here's the third layer. The one that explains why this keeps happening to the same people. Over and over, meeting after meeting. Your oven didn't build itself. Your brain has a very old calculation it runs in every social situation. It weighs two things. The value of contributing, being heard, being credited, being seen as valuable, against the risk of being wrong, being judged, dismissed, seen as less capable. For most of human history, being wrong in public carried enormous social cost. Say the wrong thing in the group, lose status. Lose enough status, lose your place. And for your ancient brain, losing your place wasn't a career setback. It was a survival threat. So before it lets you speak, it runs the calculation. Is serving something undercooked worth the reward of being first? And for people whose brains weight the risk more heavily, the answer is almost always the same. Not yet. Wait. Make sure. And while your brain is still deciding, someone with a lower threshold for risk has already served theirs. Not because their idea was better cooked, because they didn't wait for the timer. The person who speaks first in a meeting isn't always the best cook in the room. They're often just the most comfortable serving something before it's perfect. And here's the cruelest part. 42% of the room didn't just miss who had the idea first. They actively gave credit to the wrong person. Which means the perfectly cooked dish you were preparing for a room that was going to credit the wrong cook anyway cost you everything. So what actually changes this? Not forcing yourself to serve everything raw. Not turning off the temperature gauge your brain built to protect you. Just understanding one thing. The room doesn't remember that the dish wasn't perfect. It remembers that you cooked. So the shift isn't stop using the oven. The shift is trust that the room is hungrier than your brain thinks. They don't need it perfect. They need it on the table. Your oven was built for a world where serving something undercooked could cost you everything. That world is gone. And the idea you've been keeping warm, waiting for the timer, it was ready a long time ago. Serve it. If you're someone whose brain works overtime before you speak, who tends their ideas carefully, who waits, who loses the moment to someone faster, that's not a flaw in your thinking. That's a brain that cares deeply about what it puts into the world. And caring deeply, when you learn to serve it anyway, is the most powerful thing in any room. This channel exists for exactly that kind of mind.